Ladies and gentlemen, La République du Cameroon recently held their regional elections. Yes, guys, and mind you, these regional elections is nothing new. Supposed to be no news, some kind of a regular activity that should have happened. Cameroon have already held regional elections before. And it is a constitutional provision that that is normally supposed to happen, and because of the ongoing crisis, the ongoing conflict between La République du Cameroon and Ambazonia, and Cameroon's inability to save face before the international community due to their mishandling of this crisis that have plunged them more into shame and darkened the image of the Cameroon regime, the Biya regime. So the current Cameroon regime saw this regional elections as perhaps an opportunity for a PR stunt on the international community to once more try to save face the bad image that the Biya government already has with the international community. So they did everything to try and present whatever was going on last week in La République du Cameroon as uh, some kind of panacea or a solution, a panacea that will provide solution to this uh, crisis, which is a crisis of occupation that French Cameroon um, is rather supposed to exit from Amazonia, but they are determined to reinforce their occupation of the sovereign territory of the southern Cameroons or Amazonia. Now, there have been many discussions regarding Cameroon's handling of this conflict, most of which the international community and every conflict expert or any diplomat in the world understands Cameroon's misfiring in every aspect. Um, as far as elections and the southern elections in Cameroon and the southern Cameroon is concerned, since 2017, after the declaration of the restoration of the state of the southern Cameroons or Ambazonia, baptized Ambazonia by Sisiku Ayub Julius Tabe, considered the president of the Federal Republic of Southern Cameroon or Amazonia. Southern Cameroonians refused to participate in any uh, uh, elections whatsoever organized by the occupying regime of La République du Cameroon. So since 2017, Southern Cameroonians have not been part of any electoral process in La République du Cameroon. So the presidential elections came and passed, and their occupation military station in uh, Amazonia could hardly give them a 3% participation. So this just goes to show the international community and any political analyst or any conflict expert that elections is not the solution to this current conflict. And elections have never solved an armed conflict anywhere. Negotiations have. So for all of those who continue to make comments about elections and solutions or some uh, status and autonomy as solutions are simply talking about the dog bone that Honorable Joseph Weber uh, told the Cameroon government that they cannot throw bones to Southern Cameroonians as if they were dogs. So this pattern continues to prove that point, and that the same actions will only produce the same results. Uh, so it is clean and clear. It was also reported by several media organs. I listened to a very nice report from Al Jazeera where it was clearly exposed and explained. Uh, Mind you, even Cameroon knows that every election that they've organized, even within their own country, has always been a sham. So elections are not coming to resolve an armed conflict at any time, anywhere. Uh, a national failure which they had organized within their territory, claiming to come out with solutions for another country, the Southern Cameroons, have failed woefully. So they continue to create this smokescreen scenario as a safe face a tactic. Unfortunately for them, it continues to backfire because the same causes always produce the same effects. Cameroon is unable to resolve this conflict by itself. They who created this conflict cannot be the same people that will resolve it. And Southern Cameroonians have lost a lot of lives uh, that they should not have because they are basically in their own territory, and an occupying nation is basically just massacring uh, citizens of another country. There is no other way to describe what is happening in the southern Cameroons or Amazonia other than to use the word genocide. So many political pundits shy away from using this terminology, but that's exactly what is happening. I was scrolling through discussions around Cameroon's regional elections and the purported as the purported solution to an armed conflict, which is very laughable, of course, but worth commenting. And to see one of these panel discussions on Afrique Media, where Comrade John Akuru, a bona fide Amazonian leader, was a member of that panel. One other Southern Cameroonian with views different from the separation, the complete separation of Southern Cameroon from the Cameroon regime, Dr. Nick Ngwanyam, someone who is also known in the Southern Cameroons community. There was Barrister Ashu. Barrister Ashu was also on that panel. These are all very well-known public figures. What struck me on that panel was the presence of one gentleman on the panel that was called Kedi, and apparently he was representing the regime and the ruling party of Cameroon. However, they felt it necessary to discuss issues of another country. Uh, take it how you want it. They can continue to claim uh, the occupation of Amazonia, but it is obvious that the people of Amazonia have rejected Cameroon's occupation, and things will never be the same. That is an established fact. And solutions will come, permanent solutions will come, and the root causes of this debate will be dissected, and legality will be proven. So it's just a matter of time before the total recognition of the Southern Cameroons or baptized Amazonia today be widespread. I listened to this discussion on Afrique Media, and it was very, very intriguing. Uh, as usual, you have regime apologies, and you have Cameroon regime apologies and enablers, as um, Dr. Chuayeva usually puts it, square and fair. Like KD and uh, to be honest, someone like Dr. Nick Ngwanyam, who uh, made references that simply gives the occupying regime grounds for continuous occupation and annihilation of the people of Ambazonia. As Ambazonians, we do not take such enablement lightly, and it's always better to call it out. Thank God we had able gentlemen on the panel who did all the work, and I'm not supposed to say anything more to let you guys know. So I simply just want to bring some of the highlights of these discussions, and then if you want the full package, because I actually enjoyed the debate on Afrique Media, because it was well articulated by opposers of genocide who were on this panel. They did a fantastic job, and I really want to give you the highlights so that you can go back. If you did not watch this discussion, you can go back to Afrique Media, either their website or their Facebook page, and watch the full broadcast. It was actually very, very intriguing. Take a look. Let's watch.
You want to replace a Senate with a communal assembly? Oh God. No, I think that these people should be serious. If they want to solve the problem, we all know what the problem is. Somebody made allusion, Dr. Nick here, made allusion to President Biya's statement before Mo Ibrahim. We have tried to assimilate these people and failed. And I keep clapping for Mr. Biya. I say yes, congratulations, because this man knows the problem. He did not just end there. The law on family code, which has sailed through the Senate, Article 114, he recognizes that there was there is Southern Cameroon. He recognizes it. Even in Buea, he said history will have it that Buea was the capital of Southern Cameroon. But these CPDM people, you people still, you are the ones denying that there is Southern Cameroon, when the president himself, on all occasions, says there is Southern Cameroon. But you keep denying. You keep denying. You give names. Northwest, Southwest. President says Southern Cameroon, but you say Northwest, Southwest. What is your problem? You, my brother, who has the same status as me, cannot give me a status. You cannot. Like if I was saying, it is a total sham. It's a total scamming status. I don't see one person who has said that nonsense. And even with you people, you cannot agree as to what you are calling.
They know that it's a sham.
They say that the Amber Boys have reduced to small groups. But if Donald Trump's African Affairs Advisor can say, we know that there are 670,000 active Amber Boys. So I don't know what answer do you have to that.
No.
It is not actually talking.
All right.
Donald Trump's special advisor on African Affairs.
Okay.
It's terrible. Please take this thing seriously. You cannot give a special status to people who have that type of army waiting for you.
All right.
If you want it to end, call them to the table.
So, when they talked about the special status, I was of the opinion that they were afraid to just say federation or confederation, okay? Just to save face. And special status or federation or confederation would just be a name. You could still call it special status, but you take those things that would pass for a confederation and put it in that box. Are you getting what I'm saying? And it will still do the job that it was supposed to do. So I was one of those people, you know, we were putting ideas together. What should be a special status? We actually compile those things and send them to the Prime Minister. Though during the process of compiling it, you know, we those of us who are true confederalists, we put in stuff. Then there were some people who were put in there by the Prime Minister who were pulling out stuff to make it as weak as possible. That's why in the special status now you see that the only thing that is standing is House of Chiefs, which has no meaning.
Mr. Fibes, now he insists on the fact that when there's a House of Chiefs and the chiefs are empowered, they'll have more power to do something right now. Is it going to work that way?
Kedia does not even understand the function of the House of Chiefs. Kedia, go back and read the decree governing the functioning of House of Chiefs. You will not be blowing this grammar you are blowing here. If we sit here and tell you that the chiefs have only an opinion and the opinion is based on two things, either on how their house should function or on education. Opinion. A CPDM man here tells me the chiefs can change things based on opinion. Are we fools on this platform? Mr. Kedia, please go back and read the decree signed by President Paul Biya, president of your party, the CPDM, governing the functioning of House of Chiefs and regional elections. You will not blow this grammar here. So we are now saying here that people should be informed of reality because the lies telling of Yaoundé regime is over. I have been telling people, if the National Assembly and the Senate itself cannot change things in this country, who are House of Chiefs and regional councillors? Let me ask this question here. Mr. CP the man, tell me. If all the time, 4 years running, nobody is courageous enough in the Senate to say, if they are not addressing Anglophone crisis, no business here in the Senate. If they are not addressing Anglophone crisis, no business here in the National Assembly. We by trying to chase him and he escaped. There was a time the SDF councillors tried foul. They tried. I should appreciate them. That's the truth. If I say they did not try, it means I will not be fair to myself. There was a time they stood up, they blew whistles up in the National Assembly. After that, what next? Nothing changed. If these kangaroo houses in Yaoundé cannot change a dime as per se to bring an end to the Anglophone crisis, it's not Kedia here in the studio blowing grammar on let everybody contribute his own quarter of the piece and it will change. Said sometime, I told an administrative officer in Boya the other day who told me that the crisis is almost getting to an end. And I took time to educate the man because it looks like he was daydreaming. I told him that based on my study and as an investigating journalist, I only realized that the conflict is changing, is metamorphosizing. From the time you could see them, the boys come out and shoot at random. Now it is tactical approach. It is more dangerous. And that's what the Americans suffered in Vietnam. We talk about ambush. Today we hear about gas bottles that they detonate using phones. I think they use phones. They could press a phone and the gas bottle would explode somewhere. We saw that in Tarikon around hospital about some time ago. Boya has recorded about 2 explosions of recent. And the next thing is you start hearing them carrying out ambush and all the like. It means that the system of the fight is changing. And what Kedia is not telling Yaoundé is that as you are delaying, those boys in the bushes are becoming more experienced than before. I remember these are guys who could not hold AK. These are guys who could hold 10 guns and rubber guns. And today you hear that they have AK. It means that very soon you hear that they have long-range missiles. It's a possibility. Because as you delay, they become more experienced and they develop other ideas in the bushes that will far become a more threat to the government. So if Kedia is honest here, he should tell Yaoundé that the way they are undermining this thing, they should be careful because it might come to a time that they will not be able to control. The way I see things moving here, let's just be honest as we're ending this, as I'm giving back the microphone to you, that in all honesty, whether Yaoundé likes it or not, they must come to a genuine dialogue table. It's a matter of time.
Yes, Louis, before I get into the crux of your question, let me first of all respond to what Dr. Ngwanyam said. Dr. Ngwanyam noted that, the respect of the ghost towns or the lockdowns is out of here. I want to be very honest here, and I want us to be very factual when we say certain things. We shouldn't just say things because we have the possibility of saying them. Dr. Ngwanyam, you will remember that when the first ghost towns were caught on the 9th of January, 2017, were there Aba boys? Was there anybody carrying any arms anywhere? Do you recall that the ghost towns that you see instituted until today were instituted at that time, and that until November 2017, the people of the Southern Cameroons respected these ghost towns calls from the consortium and other bodies when no one had arms. And I would like you to know that the Monday ghost town was instituted right from that time, and people accepted it. Because you people continue to be in denial of the fact that the people of the Southern Cameroons are sick and tired of being slaves, you will continue to imagine things and say them. I want you to know, I am the leader of the civil society organizations operating in the Southern Cameroons. They are under the consortium. And I want to let you know how we arrived at decisions to get ghost towns or lockdowns. These decisions are taken in total consultation, in discussion and agreement with the people on the ground. That is why they implement them. You should be able to know this. You will shake your head, you will doubt it because you are not aware of how these things happen. I've just asked you to justify. Right up to November, and that was the end of November 2017, were there Amber Boys? There were no Amber Boys anywhere. There were no arms anywhere. The people constantly respected the stay-at-home orders. And I want to tell you this. When you look at the result of the survey conducted by Christian Cardinal Toomey, he conducted it at this time, in 2019, when you are saying that, which falls within the period that you are already saying people are forced or people are terrorized or people are frightened. That was an opportunity for the people to say, no, we really don't want what is happening. They didn't say so. The other survey from the CDN was organized in June of 2000 and was organized just about 2 months ago. This 2020, 86% of the people overwhelmingly say we align with these people who give us these orders to stay at home. What does that tell you? I think we should actually avoid sometimes trying to just, throw jabs. And as I'm talking to you right now, are you aware that last night, breaking this morning at a snack bar in Boya called Las Vegas, that soldiers got into the place, carted everybody there, whether you had ID card or not, beat people mercilessly, even harassed some old people coming away from a wedding. Beat all of them. They were throwing people in trucks at random. And they even harassed a UN official there who was seriously at pains to define who he was before at the end of the day he was delivered. Is that in Bamenda? Are you aware, Mr. Keja seated there, that even at this moment that you and I are talking, people are in tears in Kupenga Nenguba? That the military has used helicopter gunships to spray bullets on people in Babubok. That as we are talking here with you, around 121 people are reported to have died there. From last night breaking today, you are on the set talking, just talking trash, just talking because at the end of the day, some minister will say, I saw you on that set and call you and give you 10,000 francs, go and take a beer. Don't forget, Mr. Keja, I was in that country with you. I sat on sets there, live in that country, and spoke with you. I know your type. So I'm not surprised what you are doing. Work your money. Look for your little bread. I'm not sure. That's why I was laughing each time you were talking. So I like us to be very factual. We are talking here about human lives. We are not joking here. When you say the people, the pro-independence leaders abroad are so divided even among themselves, and that is why they will keep fighting, attacking others, each other as an excuse. Look, gentlemen, I have said it several times and I will repeat it. We know that we are up against a system that only thrives on divide and rule. That's why they use people like you. That's why they want you to come and give the impression that this crisis or this conflict is raging on only in the Northwest. There's nothing happening in the Southwest. That's why they bring people like you, lies like you, to come and see and give the impression to the world that this thing, no, there is one part which is not for, there is another one which is against. That is the same way you have been struggling to divide us, so you can use that as an excuse to say, no, you see, we even find it difficult to get people to really talk with. Let me assure you, you said one thing and I like to take from there, that the government has done its own by holding a national dialogue. Let the pro-independence leaders give their own. The pro-independence leaders have been asking you to come to the negotiation table. It is on the negotiation table that they do give and take. Do you understand that? If you understand what negotiations means, I know you have even been so seriously brainwashed that you will not even understand what this thing stands, what this thing means. Once in a while, reach out. We will freely provide you the kind of education that will make you think independently and critically like a human being, so you avoid really getting so seriously brainwashed. Look at what is happening in Kumba with the incidents at the Mother Francisca International Bilingual Academy. The Prime Minister, Mr. John Gute, said the proprietors of the school and her husband and the teachers and the administrative staff that were kept under detention were kept there for preventive detention and will be released. Even before the funeral of those children, they were not. The SDO, Mr. Tundam, said they were kept there for preventive to protect them. They will soon release them. They told us at one point that they had killed 2 of the so-called Amber commanders who were involved with the mass killing at the Mother Francisca International Bilingual Academy. Suddenly, they came again, I think about 2 days ago, and said they had arrested some other person who was connected to it. Yet they turn around and they are now charging teachers and the proprietor and his wife of the school of terrorism. How do you describe that kind of system? How does it factor in? Thieves broke into your house, loot from you, even shoot some of your people in the house, and the administration charges you for that murder. Are you sound? I think you should be ashamed of yourself when your people are dying and you come and sit on media to be saying this kind of things.
Welcome back. Thank you for watching the very, very exciting highlights there. You can go back to Afrique Media and watch the full deliberations or the full debate on Afrique Media or Facebook or their website. I mean, at this point, I want to give a special salute to Comrade Phi Elvis over there, Barrister Ashu, who did a wonderful job, and to Comrade John Akuro, who destroyed these regime apologists and enablers of genocide in Ambazonia. So that is all I can say on this discussion. There was literally nothing more to add than to just say this was a job well done for the brothers who spoke against the regime that is oppressing the people of the Southern Cameroons or Ambazonia. The facts are clear, and it's high time for all Southern Cameroonian born to face the truth and accept the fact that the future of the Southern Cameroon will never be what it was. The era of oppression is over, and Southern Cameroonians have their destiny in their hands. It will not be predestined by another country, nor by opinions from another country. They are welcome to join the majority of Southern Cameroonians already moving forward with the Ambazonian agenda, which is that of total liberation from oppression and genocide from La République du Cameroun. So if you watch this video and it helped you in any way, or it informed you in any way, or it educated you in some ways, please continue to watch other videos on this platform and share us your opinion on what you think. Make proposals on topics that we can talk about. Suggest people that we can talk to. Bring them for discussions that you can enjoy and inform and yourself in order to make better political decisions. We hope that as we continue to talk about the things that affect our lives and our families, we will find solutions to our problems and the way forward faster than we are doing. For all of us Ambazonians struggling in ground zero, and all the fighters defending the territorial integrity of the Southern Cameroons and Ambazonia, 21 gun salute to you all. God bless you. God bless Ambazonia.